Hey guys, happy Monday. So we're going to do a short review, and then this should be a shorter chemistry video than we usually have, so good stuff. So last week we talked about all sorts of stuff and we quizzed on it. We had alkanes, isomers, and alkenes. So I'm going to do a quick review on what alkenes and alkanes were, and then we're going to jump into the third type. Okay? So alkanes, and these are notes that I want you to write down. It's not many. Alkanes are single bond hydrocarbons. So any string or straight chain of carbons linked with single bonds. And this is an example. These alkanes are used as natural gas, as some of you guys found in your projects. So propane is an alkane. Alkene, double bond hydrocarbons. So alkene is any straight chain of carbons that are linked together where you have a double bond involved. And of all things, those are actually useful for making plastics. And now we're going to introduce our third friend, the alkyne. Alkyne, so we have alkane, alkene, and alkyne. Alkyne is any triple bond hydrocarbon chain. An example would be this lad right here. A carbon, triple bonded with a carbon, and we have these two little guys out here because each carbon needs to have 4 bonds. So this carbon would have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is just a little carbon floating out of nowhere. The carbons are connected to each other 3 times. And then this carbon, if he's got 3 bonds here, needs to have an extra one for 4. So 4 on this guy, 4 on this guy. We're all happy. And just a quick reminder, when we are working with carbons, our numbering system, right, I told you we're numbering these carbons for naming them. We're looking at the busiest end, which means the most crap going on that side. This carbon has 4 bonds, this carbon has 4 bonds. It's completely balanced, so I would never need to number this one. Let's look at an example where I would need to number it. Let's look at this guy. So, we've got carbon here. He has 4 bonds. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got carbon here. He's got 4 bonds. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this carbon is just floating around with 3. So let's see if I would need to do anything funky with naming this guy. So which side's the busiest end? We got a bunch of single bonds here, nothing normal, just hydrocarbons. This is where the jazz is going on, right? On the left. That's where we got that messy triple bond. So this would be the left side would be my first carbon. So I would number these 1, 2, and 3. And these would be involved when I name this. All right? So what do we do? Well, let's look at the first one. If you have a carbon triple bonded with another carbon, the name is ethyne. And just as a quick side note, this is ethyne, this was ethene, and this was ethane. So you can see how the only thing that's really changing is that one middle letter. The triple bond gives you a Y, the double bond gives you an E, and the single bond gives you an A. That's the naming system. Now, how would we name this guy? This one's ethyne. I know I have 3 names though, let me make sure that's clear. What's this guy? Well, I have a triple bond, so I know the ending of my word's going to be "-ine", but I don't know what the name is yet. So if I have 3 carbons, let's think back to that chart we had way back in the day. In fact, pull it out real quick, because you're going to need it for your homework. If you have 3 carbons, what is the prefix you use for 3? Remember, it's meth, eth, prop. Prop is next. So this is going to be some kind of prop. So it's going to be prop. And now, since I have to number these, then I need to figure out what my number is going to be. It's going to be prop something ine. So what's the smallest number that my triple bond is connected to? It's connected to a 1, and it's connected to a 2. The smallest one I have is a 1. So it's going to be prop 1 ine. Prop tells me how many carbons I have. 1 tells me where the triple bond is. And ine tells me that this has a triple bond and not a double bond. Because this could, if this was a double bond, it would be prop 1 ene. And if this was a single bond,
It would be prop 1 ane. We wouldn't really say it like that. That's not true. Ignore that one. But the ene and the ine would both apply here.
so that's all I've got. So your homework's going to have to do with a little matching section of naming these. It's going to ask you to name one of them without giving any help. And then there's a question that says on page 465, the table you're going to use for helping actually has a mistake in it. And so I'm going to see if you guys can find that mistake um, because it threw me for a bit of a loop. I think it'll be pretty obvious. It's in the top half of the chart. Um, and so correct that for me. Show that you're smarter than the people we have over at who did this book. Um, BJU Press. Show me you're smarter than the people at BJU Press. Fantastic. Well, there's your chemistry video for today. Um, Here's what we're doing this week. First, today we're doing alkynes. Tomorrow we're going to talk about drawing things from a formula. Wednesday
We'll have a group on the difference between alkanes, alkenes, and alkynes.
and then Thursday and Friday we're going to start talking about functional groups, which is continuing this theme of organic chemistry. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Monday. Reach out to me if you need anything. Bye.